Hello everyone, my name is Elena Korotkaia, and before I begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land and sea where I live, work and create, the Bailey, the Grung, the Greng, and the Tarbilang Banda people. I would like to pay my respect to the elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I would also like to acknowledge that this project was made possible by the Australian Government's Regional Arts Fund, provided through Regional Arts Australia, administered in Queensland by Flying Arts Alliance. I am very grateful for this support. Welcome to my presentation about exhibiting and finding support for your exhibition. I will talk about a few things, starting with why I'm doing this presentation and my story, and then some resources and inspiration, why you should exhibit your work, how to find an exhibition space, how to get support, finding support for your exhibition, some application tips, and how I will be touching down on the imposter syndrome and any doubts, how to overcome those doubts, and how to cope with unsuccessful submissions or outcomes. I would like to mention that this is not a comprehensive guide about exhibiting grants and building your career as an artist, but rather sharing my lived experience and hoping it might serve as an inspiration and motivation to someone who may be in a similar stage in their journey through art. So I will tell a little bit about myself and my journey. I was born and raised in Russia. I moved to Australia about 11 years ago, and at the time I did not consider myself as an artist or photographer. I did spend a lot of time focusing on photography, I think, as a hobby. And after moving to Australia, I had some spare time to study it on my own, watching online tutorials, reading books. It was my dream to study at the Queensland College of Art at Griffith University, but it was and still is unachievable for me. Later on, I was lucky to join the art space Mackay gallery in Mackay as a volunteer. There was a great team, and it was very inspirational to be there, and lots of experience. And it was there when I felt that I would want to try build a career as an artist or working in arts, working at art galleries. And further on, I was lucky to get employed at the Gladstone Regional Art Gallery and Museum. And again, it's lots of great experience and inspiration. It was amazing. And as of now, I am a stay-at-home mother of two. So my, I think, journey as an artist started when I had a story, a place I wanted to explore. It's an island in the Arctic Ocean. I had some family history connections to this place, so I had a lot of interest in it. And I went there and brought back a lot of photographs, and naturally people I knew were asking me if I'm going to show them. I did not really believe that they were worth showing, but I was convinced by others, and I decided to give it a go. And this is how Svalbard, the Land of Dreams, came on display at Photopia Studio in Gladstone back in 2018. So that was a while ago, and it was shown at the Banana Shire Regional Art Gallery in Bilaila after that. And also at the same time, I found out that Queensland College of Art, the galleries there accept external applications from from artists who are not students or graduates from QCA. And from then on, it became my goal, my dream to be able to show my exhibition there. I think because I didn't have formal education in arts or photography, I felt like, oh, if I get my work shown there, it means something. So I would like to share. I'm sharing sort of my point of view on all the things I mentioned as a middle-aged emerging artist from culturally and linguistically diverse background and based in the regional area. And I hope that what I share today will help you go further and try something you went out about. I really hope so. So some resources that I would like to share today. First of all, it will be Flying Arts Alliance. It's a not-for-profit organization inspiring the appreciation, practice and professional development of the visual and media arts as a lifetime interest and or career throughout regional and remote Queensland. Flying Arts Alliance is also the administrator in Queensland of the Regional Arts Fund, an Australian government program provided through Regional Arts Australia. If you haven't heard about Flying Arts before, I highly recommend to jump on the website and have a really good look, read about the history as well. They provide a lot of support to artists, especially regional artists. There are online webinars that I highly recommend to have a look at. Also, where I often turn to is the National Association for the Visual Arts, on NAVA. It is a major advocate for the Australian visual arts, craft and design sector. And I think the most known for the Code of Practice for Visual Arts, Craft and Design. And the code covers good practice approaches to working relationships, ethical standards of access and inclusion, and payment rates for artists and workers. And you might need the code of practice when you're preparing your funding application. I would also like to mention Regional Arts Services Network. It is an initiative of Arts Queensland. It works in partnership with local councils, artists and arts organisations and communities to foster, facilitate and promote the sustainable growth of regional arts across the state. Central Queensland Regional Arts Services Network is looking after the Western region where I'm based. And one of the things they do is providing support and advice for individual artists and arts organisations. And our regional arts officer for Central Queensland is Melissa Peacock. I got advice to contact the regional arts officer early on in my project, and I have received lots of great advice and support from Melissa, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, Melissa. Now, a bit of like an unusual resource is a book by a psychologist and researcher, Brené Brown. It's called Daring Greatly, and Brené talks about how the courage to be vulnerable transforms the way we live, love, parent and lead. This book has given me a lot of courage to continue with this presentation today. There was a 2 or 3 months wait on this book at my local library, and people are reading it. And the last but not least is an Instagram account and book called Practicing Simplicity by Australian author Jodie Wilson. Jodie Wilson talks a lot on how simple things and actions bring joy and comfort to our lives, and it is a self-care resource for me, and I highly recommend the book as well. So coming down to the next part of the presentation is some thought about why should exhibit your work, and there is always the obvious points like building your portfolio, building your artist CV, getting commissions or selling your work. And I would like to talk about some maybe not obvious points, which for me were extending your relationship with your own work and diving deeper into your own story. I of course spent a lot of time when I was selecting my works for display back in 2018, but that was a while ago, and this time when I was installing my works at the QCAD Gallery at the Queensland College of Art and Design, I spent time selecting like how they're going to be displayed, and I didn't really think it will take a long time. When they were shown before, I knew how to do it, but in your space, different space, it kind of has you can place it differently, tell your story a bit differently. So also I spent a lot of time like one-on-one studying my own works instead of comparing my work to others. And often, when we compare to others, when I compare to others, I always feel like other people's work is so much better than mine. But being in the space with my work for that long really helped me to look at it differently. And why I actually did spend a lot of time with my work was that requirement to exhibit at the Queensland College of Art and Design is that you install your own work yourself, and I loved every minute of it installing. It did take longer than I thought as well, but it was a great experience. And then I was staying at the gallery for the duration of the exhibition for 2 weeks, and just talking to the visitors. So it takes me down to sharing your unique story with others and finding your voice as you go. It was very interesting to talk to visitors and hear their perception of my work, as well as talking about their art journey, if they were artists or even like life in general, and we were bouncing off ideas from each other. And it was a very interesting, enriching experience. And also, it helped me to understand better how my work and my story resonates with my audience. And this gives me further thought what you would like, what I would like to do further on, what other ideas I would like to explore further on. And also, it was a great confidence boost. So, hopefully I was able to convince you why you should be showing your work, and we'll look into how to find an exhibition space. And you could start locally connecting with your local council gallery. Just be aware that they usually plan about around most galleries usually plan about 2 years ahead, so don't be put off when you hear this timeline. Some galleries accept applications at any time of the year and get them assessed as they go. Some galleries will have special times when you need to apply. Just find out with the gallery in your region and have a chat to them. Also, you could try contacting your regional arts officer at the Regional Arts Services Network. They will probably have lots of ideas and information about spaces where you could where you could exhibit your work. Then any community-run exhibition spaces or even private studios and cafes. I had Svalbard Land of Dreams shown at the Blue Mirror Gallery and Cafe in Gladstone. And it was really great to have it in like a different space. And the space is known for having exhibitions rotating monthly. And when people come there to get their coffee, they actually come there to have a look at your work. And there's probably a bit of less waiting time than 2 years. In Brisbane, I found a very extensive list on the website pneart.com. qcad.com, and I will be sharing this link with this presentation and all other resources as well. So after you have decided where you would like to exhibit and probably submitted your application and you've got an outcome, and now you will need some funding support, not necessarily of course, but often artists will have a problem of not having enough funds to carry on with their work. So ideas where you could go, what you could try for funding support would include your local regional arts development fund and regional arts fund. So they are two different funds. Sometimes people get confused. You could try Creative Australia. They support arts projects for individuals and groups. And also Arts Queensland has two programs, Queensland Arts Showcase Program and Touring Queensland Fund. Some application tips that I would like to share today include, well, obviously, like always check out the guidelines and dates of the fund where you would like to apply. Sometimes when we're too excited, or maybe the other way around, like too stressed, we can overlook some important details. So it always pays to kind of double check everything. And also with the guidelines, it's a really great document that will help you kind of break down your kind of how do you understand if first of all, if your project complies with the fund requirements, but also when you apply for, when you make an application, it may feel like really daunting, like it feels like such a big job, and reading through the guidelines, I think, breaks it down into smaller parts and you kind of understand it a bit better, and you're kind of already into it, like already in the process, so it really helps. I would also advise plan a lot of time for preparing your application, both like writing your responses to the questions, to selection criteria, but also seeking support of other parties. So you will need letters of support to submit with the application in most cases, and often going out to different organizations and talking whether they're interested to support the project, and also then getting the letter to confirm. It does take time because key people sometimes are away or unavailable, so it may take between 1 and 3 weeks, I think. So it's something really to factor in when you're preparing your application, so you don't feel rushed. Also, what I do is I write my responses in a separate file offline, like on my computer, so that the form does not time out as I fill it out. Also, it really helps to provide more thoughtful responses, and also usually each form, each form will have a word limit for each section. So when you are when you're writing, you will probably go over that limit, and then you can then concise it down to the limit, but also it may help to put your thought into words more clearly. And this is the advice I have as a non-native speaker of English. If any part of the application is unclear and I feel confused or stuck, even though I speak English well, I understand it really well, what I do is I just take the question apart word by word, and anything that kind of feels unclear, I check the definition in the dictionary in a thesaurus, and it really helps to simplify a question that sometimes feels really big. And so a really big part of applying for an exhibition, of deciding to kind of take your work out there, applying for exhibition, applying for funding, for me is how to overcome the imposter syndrome, or any doubts or fears, and also if you had an unsuccessful submission or unsuccessful outcome, how do you proceed from there? So what really helps me the most when I kind of am about to endeavor into something, and I feel really doubtful, and I'm the expert in doubting myself. So I think about what's the worst that will happen, and if I don't do anything, the worst will happen, nothing will happen, and this is not the outcome we want. And then if I do something, then what will happen? I can get to know, and it's important to acknowledge that, and important to live with. If you are successful, if you go to and know, I think it's important to sit with a feeling, give it some really good time, and then you'll be able to move on from there. Just let yourself feel it. It helps, I think, to then get out of the box and find solutions and try again. Also, like when I think about pushing my work out there, I do worry about judge, like about being that my work is going to be judged by people, and you can't really be liked by everyone, and but what I know for sure is that there will be people who will love your work, and you will be blown away by this. So I think for me, I try to focus on not on like what will people think about my work, but what kind of how it helps me to go further in my art journey. And I would like to touch down on the definition of success. And I have looked it up, and success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. And when when I was planning my exhibition in Brisbane, I had certain purposes that I did not achieve, which I think it was that I didn't have as many people visit as I hoped, and I did not haven't received any further offers to exhibit elsewhere, and I'll just have to live with that for now. And I felt like this whole thing was a fail. Like I felt like I failed, and I really felt like that. And as part of my project, I was going to share all the great things I learned, all the experience I got, and I just felt like, because I felt like a fail, I couldn't really share anything. I didn't feel like what I have to share is any worth. And again, like I just had to spend some time with this feeling, and acknowledge that this is how I feel. It's alright to feel like that. And then I just started to think about the bigger picture of like where I came from and what I have achieved overall. And I changed my mind. I felt like this is a successful story to share. But also I thought about different different outcomes that different moments of this process, which to me now make this feel like it was a success. So while I was thinking about the purpose of art, and I think it is to connect us with each other, to enrich our lives, transform our lives, give us a purpose in life. And when I had visitors coming to see my exhibition, I could see that their eyes were sparked, they were sparking with interest and curiosity and maybe joy. We also touched down on some really not really happy topics of like climate change and other things. So there were great stories and ideas shared between visitors and myself, and so also the comments that I received from the visitors, one of them was particularly standing out to me. One of the visitors said, "What an mesmerizing exhibition. Every image is perfect. I am stunned by the delicate, intricate balance of textures, light and color. So subtle, immaculate. Thank you and congratulations." And as I said before, like it doesn't really matter how many people came, but it matters that if it even made an impact for one person. I think it's really great that the work that we do has this kind of power. And also, I think what this experience gave me was an understanding that my work, even though it has already been shown, that it can be shown again and again at other locations, and just the reason that it has been seen by a number of people, it doesn't mean that it became worthless, because a lot of galleries these days, they want new exclusive work, and for example, I'm not in a position now to create new work at the moment, and I just felt like this my work is still matters over time, like, and because it's like more like a documentary style images, they still they're worth showing, and this is what I'm going to work on from here. So kind of like summarizing, I think that often success is not what others think about you and your work, but how do you feel about it? And I hope that what I shared will be helpful to you. Please contact me if you have any questions, if there is anything I can help you with regarding the information that I shared. If you found this helpful, I would really like to know. And thank you for watching, and all the best with your